Hey everyone, welcome to the beach with General Sunbeam.
Aloha! Glad you could join us.
Relax, soak up the sun, and enjoy the vibe.
Testing. Right. Okay. Is anybody texting me? Oh boy. Kendall Wilson wanted to send you a message. Alright, Kendall Wilson on Facebook Messenger. Hot feet. Hot feet. Oh, I will not be defeated by all the trolls and haters. There you go. Trying to make sure to have my phone, you know, trying to make money, making extra money. Alright. So, just taking a breather. It's just sad. It's just kind of messed up. What you're seeing here, I'm just showing here for, just showing here as fair use. Again, fair use. Just spreading awareness. Not to be like this dude, this guy here. What you're watching is Daniel Larson, freakouts, crash outs, public meltdown. That's truly the definition of mental illness right there. So yeah, what you're watching here is Daniel Larson. That's Daniel Larson. I believe he's in jail or in prison or something. So those that don't know who Daniel Larson is, well, I'll tell you. All right. So Daniel Larson's, what you're watching right there, that's him. That's Daniel Larson's. Daniel Larson's federal case is a Colorado threats case, not just internet drama. The indictment was filed on April 25th, 2024, about 2 years ago. Actually, about to be, yes, that's going to be eventually 2 years ago. And it charged him with 7 counts total. 6 counts under 18 United States Constitution, Section 844E for alleged bomb threats or explosive threats, communications, and 1 count under 18 United States Constitution, Section 825C for allegedly transmitting a threat to injure an FBI special agent. The indictment lists alleged threats dates from July 2023 through March 2024, and the alleged targets include a Colorado County courthouse, a nonprofit center in Lakewood, the White House, a Colorado state government building, a college campus in Colorado, and FBI headquarters. The case the case then slowed down because the court ordered a competency evaluation in May 2024. On July 26, 2024, Judge Regina M. Rodriguez found Larson's incompetent to proceed at that stage and ordered him committed to the custody of the Attorney General for treatment and evaluation under 18 United States Constitution, Section 424(1)(d). And October 9, 2024, court order said he had still not been transferred promptly because of a backlog and lack of bed space. And the court said the speedy trial clock remained tolled while competency issues were unresolved. The newest development I found is that multiple recent outlets citing court documents report that Larson pleaded guilty on April 9th, 2026. Oh, okay, that's all about recently. So Larson pleaded guilty on April 9th, 2026 to one count of transmitting threats in interstate commerce. Those same reports say the government agreed to dismiss the other counts, that prosecutors will not oppose a request for time served, and that the charge carries a statutory maximum of 5 years in prison, up to 3 years of supervised release, and a possible 250,000 fine. They also report an estimated guideline range of 27 to 33 months, although the judge still decides the actual sentence. On custody status, the verified court materials show he had been detained since his 2024 arrest, and the recent plea reporting says he has been in custody since April 30th, 2024. I was able to verify from court materials that he was arrested around that time and that the October 2024 order stated he had been detained ever since. I was not able to directly inspect the April 2026 plea filing from an official court docket through the sources available to me today. So the plea status update is coming from recent secondary reports that say they reviewed the court documents. So in plain terms, what is going on right now is this. Larson's long-delayed federal case appears to have moved out of the competency restoration phase and into a plea resolution. The case is no longer just waiting to see what happens. Based on the recent reporting, he has now admitted guilt to one federal threat count. The other charges are expected to be dropped under the agreement, and the remaining question is sentencing. All right, now I'm going to reiterate. Let me give a clear and factual update on Daniel Larson because there has been a lot of confusion online. This is not just random internet gossip. Daniel Larson's federal case in Colorado began with a 2024 indictment charging 7 counts tied to alleged threat communications. According to the indictment, the alleged threats involved several targets, including a Colorado courthouse, a nonprofit center in Lakewood, the White House, a Colorado government building, a college campus, and FBI headquarters, along with a separate threat charge involving an FBI agent. This became a serious federal criminal case, not just online controversy. After that, the case slowed down because the court had to deal with competency proceedings. In May 2024, the court ordered a mental evaluation, and in July 2024, the judge found him incompetent to proceed at that time and committed him for treatment and further evaluation. In October 2024, orders showed that the case was still delayed because of transfer and bed space issues. So the legal process dragged on for a long time, but now there is a major new movement in the case. Recent reports citing court documents say Daniel Larson pleaded guilty on April 9th, 2026 to one count of transmitting threats in interstate commerce. Those same reports say the government agreed to dismiss the remaining counts as part of the plea deal. They also say prosecutors will not oppose a request for time served. The charge still carries a maximum of 5 years in prison, plus possible supervised release and financial penalties, but the final sentence is still up to the judge. So the bottom line is this. Daniel Larson's case has moved from a long period of competency delays into what appears to be a guilty plea resolution. The central question now is sentencing. That is where things stand based on the most recent information I could verify today, as of now, 2026, regarding Daniel Larson's that you're watching right now. If you don't mind, I'm gonna use ChatGPT. Okay, come on. All right. Viewer discretion is advised. As always, viewer discretion is advised. Mature content warning. Again, everything is under fair use and exercising First Amendment responsibly, and again, fair use, just for education, critique, commentary, and for education purpose. So I'm going to use ChatGPT and continue. Help me look into Daniel Larson. Who is Daniel Larson? And elaborate when he was born and any information about him, any any incident, meltdown, freakouts, including with Joshua Block, and help me write a lengthy, elaborate live stream to speak orally to the viewers and audience. Oh. Alright, so tonight what you're watching here is Daniel Larson's, and viewer discretion is advised. We're just trying to learn about him and spread awareness about these people and mental illness. This is truly a definition of mental illness right here, or mental concerns. Unhinged, like unhinged people roaming the streets that could be in danger to themselves and dangers to others surrounding. Just based on what you see here. For example, Daniel Larson right here. So tonight, at this hour, is late night, it's degenerate hour, so Adult Swim. Once again, viewer discretion is advised. Mature content warning. So tonight I want to talk about Daniel Larson in a way that is more careful, at least for me, more factual, more concrete, and more responsible than the usual internet noise. A lot of people know the name Daniel Larson, at least on the internet culture, on the online the cyber internet, the whole pop culture stuff. But here for me, I'm gonna try to document this carefully. So a lot of people have seen these clips. A lot of people have seen the meltdowns, the freakouts, the strange live stream moments, and the chaotic online history. But the reason I want to slow this down is because Daniel Larson is one of those internet figures where rumor, trolling, real misconduct, mental health concerns, and actual criminal court proceedings all get mixed together into one big mess. And when that happens, people stop distinguishing between what is verified, what is archived, internet lore, and what is just gossip. So first, who is Daniel Larson? Well, that's Daniel Larson right there that you're watching. Him showing his mental concerns, his concerning mentality. So who is Daniel Larson? Well, he's a male. And he's personally unhinged. Daniel Larson is a Colorado internet personality who rose to internet attention on TikTok around 2020. Archive-style internet documentation says he became known for cryptic and erratic videos, repeated bans, strange running storylines on his accounts, and a fan and troll ecosystem that kept feeding him false information. Yes, and a fan and troll ecosystem that kept feeding him false information and amplifying his instability. A lot of people from internet culture spaces remember phrases like the Mr. President arc, uh, the camera, the camera fog art, and his repeated claims about music, fame, and celebrity connections. That is the environment he came out of. He was not just some random user who went viral one time. He became a long-running internet fixation, and I think that point matters because Daniel Larson did not become famous in a healthy or normal way. He became famous through confusion, exploitation, spectacle, and reaction. A lot of online communities did not simply observe him. They interact with him, manipulated him, baited him, and in some cases helped turn his instability into entertainment. That does not erase his own responsibility for what he did, but it does explain why the story became so large and so ugly. This was not just one man posting videos, it became an internet ecosystem. Now, when people ask what is going on with him right now, the most important part is that this is no longer just internet drama. This is a federal criminal case. Official court records shows that on April 25th, 2024, Daniel Larson was indicted in the District of Colorado on 7 counts total. 6 of those counts allege explosive threat communications and 1 count alleging interstate threat against an FBI special agent. The indictment names alleged targets that included a county courthouse in Colorado, a nonprofit center in Lakewood, the White House, a Colorado state government building, a Colorado college campus, and FBI headquarters. That is the level this reached. This is no longer just people relying. No, sorry. This is no longer just people replaying weird TikToks. This became a serious federal matter. The court record also shows that after the indictment, the case became tied up in competency proceedings. In May 2024, the parties requested a competency evaluation. By July 2024, the court had found that Larson was not competent to proceed, and by October 2024, the case was still delayed because of competency, restoration, and bed space issues. So for a long stretch, the case was not moving like a normal criminal case. The system was trying to determine whether he was mentally able to understand the proceedings and assist in his own defense. That is a very different legal question from whether the underlying conduct happened. The newest reported update is that Daniel Larson pleaded guilty on April 9, 2026 to one count of transmitting threats in interstate commerce, with the remaining counts expected to be dismissed under the plea arrangement. Recent reports say prosecutors will not oppose a request for time served, and that the charge carries a maximum of 5 years with a guideline estimated in the high 2-year range. I do want to be transparent here. I was able to confirm the 2024 indictment directly from court materials, but I was not able to directly inspect the 2026 plea filing from an official public docket source through the web tool today. So that latest plea update is coming from recent media reports that say they reviewed the court documents. Now beyond the court case, why do people remember Daniel Larson so intensely? They remember him because his online history was full of public blow-ups, bizarre claims, confrontations, and self-sabotage. Archive sources document repeated TikTok bans and a May 2021 live stream incident that got him removed after explicit nudity on TikTok Live. Over time, these incidents built a reputation around him as a chaotic, unstable, and highly manipulable internet figure. Again, that material is mostly documented by internet culture archives rather than mainstream reporting, so I think the fairest way to describe it is as heavily documented online history, not polished journalism. One of the more famous parts of the Daniel Larson story is the Joshua Block crossover. Joshua Block, known online as World of T-Shirts, is another major internet personality whose brand revolves around high-volume public postings and live stream style content in New York City. Online communities spent a long time trying to force a Daniel Larson versus Online communities spent a long time trying to force a Daniel Larson versus Joshua Block narrative, almost like they were treating two unstable or controversial internet figures like characters in a matchup. Archival internet documentation says that after months of that buildup, Larson went to New York. The possibility of a meetup exploded online, and then on May 10, 2023, he and Joshua Block actually met in person in New York with Michael Quinn. Involved. That meetup became its own meme event. That part of the story says a lot about the internet right now. Instead of stepping back and asking whether two volatile online personalities should be pushed together at all, many people treated it like content, like a crossover episode, like something funny to orchestrate from behind screens. That is one of the ugliest patterns in modern internet culture. People stop seeing a human being and start seeing a spectacle they can manipulate. And even if somebody has done wrong or acted terribly, that does not make it wise or ethical to keep escalating them for entertainment. That is part of the lesson here. Two late-stage incidents especially helped define Larson's image. One was the September 2023 arrest on the University of Colorado Boulder campus, where archive-style reporting says he was arrested after allegedly shoving a staff member. Another was the December 2023 Olive Garden incident, where platform reporting says he caused a scene. claimed workers were under citizen's arrest and pulled a fire alarm. That Olive Garden episode became one of the most replayed public outbursts associated with him. So when people ask me what Daniel Larson is, I would say this. He is an internet personality whose online life turned into a mix of self-destruction, audience exploitation, viral public incidents, and eventually federal criminal consequences. He is not just a meme. He is not just a joke. He is also not just a victim with no agency. The truthful answer sits in the uncomfortable middle. There is evidence there is evidence of trolling and exploitation around him, but there is also evidence of conduct serious enough to end up in federal court. And that is really the part I want viewers to take away when watching all this. When watching Daniel Larson here with the meltdown and being manipulated, heavily manipulated by trolls just for content, just for entertainment. You can see all that unfolding. You can see all that. The internet can turn instability into entertainment very quickly, but that's what they call lol cow. It can reward the worst. It can reward the worst moments. It can blur the line between documenting somebody and provoking somebody. It can create whole communities that orbit a person's breakdowns instead of trying to reduce harm. And over time, what starts as look at this weird post can become arrests, threats, court hearings, involuntary evaluations, and lives being permanently altered. That is what makes the Daniel Larson story bigger than one creator. It is also a story about the internet that enabled and amplified him. So, to wrap it up in plain terms, Daniel Larson is a Colorado internet figure who rose through chaotic TikTok notoriety, became heavily entangled in troll-driven internet culture, crossed paths with other major online personalities like Joshua Block, and is now in the middle of a federal case that, according to official records, began with 7 serious threat-related court counts. The most recent reporting says he has now pleaded guilty to 1 count and is awaiting sentencing. That is where the story stands right now. And well, that's pretty much the wrap up for this whole tragedy of Daniel Larson. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Oh, Okay, so yeah, that's Daniel Larson, and I'm just showing that just to spread awareness about mental concern and mental illness. And well, I don't know what I can say. I'm not trying to really sugarcoat it, but it's all for awareness purposes, and that I feel bad for this individual because he's been heavily being manipulated and already being like it's just sad and tragic. But anyway, so at the time, let's get on to the point. Promoting my Rumble, General Sunbeam, trying to hit 40, 50, 100. Appreciate the follow. Please help me grow. I want to be a successful Rumble user. Go ahead and play this. So again, viewer discretion is advised. So wherever you're at, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or simply good day, everyone. Viewers and audiences, this is your boy General Sunbeam, and I want to speak openly and honestly for a moment. I have been reflecting on where I am right now in life, work and finances, and I want to express this with better clarity. I am doing my best to stay presentable, disciplined, and professional while building something for myself as a self-employed creator and delivery worker. I'm currently been doing, lunch drop and DoorDash, Uber Eats. I recently spent money on basic grooming, including a standard manicure and pedicure, because I believe in presenting myself neatly and respectfully, and I love getting pampered, especially the pedicure feels so good. Oh man, I love foot massage and I love the scrub. Oof, man, I wish I can do that again. I love pedicure and I love getting pampered and being pampered. God, I don't have the money. I'm broke and I'm heavily in debt. So yeah, just trying to, just being well groomed. I believe in presenting myself neatly and respectfully. For me, that is part of self-respect, confidence, and trying to carry myself well in public. At the same time, the economic pressure is real. As of April 15, 2026, AAA lists the Texas average gas price at $3.768 a gallon, while the U.S. national average is around $4.108. Yes, exactly. So even if some stations are a little lower or higher, the bigger picture is the same. Few few sorry, just again what just showing this Harry Dresden criminal and just responding to a Facebook chat. But yeah, it's around $4, almost $4 a gallon here in Texas. So a little lower or higher, the bigger picture is the same. Fuel is expensive, and that hits working drivers directly. Yes. So that matters because I am currently self-employed, and my vehicle is part of how I survive. Every mile costs something. Every run means fuel, maintenance, tire wear, oil changes, depreciation, and stress on the vehicle. When you are driving left and right trying to deliver food on time, all that eats into profit fast. Reuters and the IEA are both reporting that the current conflict involving Iran and disruptions tied to the Strait of Hormuz. Strait of Hormuz have added pressure to global oil markets, which is one reason politics and international conflict end up affecting ordinary people at the pump. That is why I keep saying politics is not abstract. Politics affects everyday life. It affects gas prices, it affects food costs, it affects jobs, it affects debt, it affects whether working people can actually get ahead or whether they are just burning themselves out trying to stay afloat. Reuters reported today that the U.S. Treasury Secretary expects gas prices to move back into the $3 range this summer. Well, I doubt that. But right now, many drivers are still feeling the pressure in real life time. In real life, no, in real time. Sorry. Personally, I am carrying close to $2,000 in credit card debt this month, and with tax day deadline, it is a financial burden. Yeah, I had it coming that I am digging myself deeper in debt, and whatever I am doing isn't helping. I also have birthdays and social obligations coming up next week, and I want to show up for the people in my life with dignity and courtesy. So I am being transparent. I am trying to recoup money, stay afloat, and keep building forward without sounding dramatic or desperate. Yes, without sounding dramatic or desperate. I also want to be clear about something else. I am not looking to go backward into a traditional W-2 situation that leaves me with little freedom, little weekend time, and constant competition for positions that may still not meet my needs. I am trying to build something through self-employment, content creation, delivery work, and creative branding. That path is harder in some ways, but it is the path I am choosing. As part of that, I am interested in modeling, visual presentation, and premium creative work in ways that stay lawful, respectful, and within platform's rule. I want to build value around presentation, confidence, style, and specialty content while maintaining boundaries and professionalism. That means keeping things consensual, documented, respectful, and online where appropriate, rather than moving into anything reckless or inappropriate. So I want to say this simply: if you enjoy my content, sorry, just taking feet pictures. So if you enjoy my content, what was I saying? So I want to say this simply: if you enjoy my content, if you respect the hustle, and if you want to support what I am building, your support is appreciated, but never required. I want that to remain optional. I do not want to pressure anybody. I just want to be transparent that support helps offset real costs, including fuel, maintenance, debt, pressure, and the time it takes to keep creating and working. If anyone would like to support me directly, my Cash App is $sign Sunbeam0072. Again, support is appreciated, never demanded. I'm going to keep pushing forward. Nonetheless, I am going to keep trying to stay well groomed, if I could, disciplined, creative, and productive. I am going to keep building my brand, my content, and my future. Oh, it's getting hot. Oh. So yes, my Cash App is Sunbeam0072, and and under the list, I'll just keep pushing forward. I'll keep progressing. I am going to keep trying to stay well groomed, disciplined, and creative and productive. I am going to keep building my brand, my content, and my future. That is where my head is at right now, and I wanted to say that clearly and respectfully. To reiterate my expression, I want to speak honestly for a moment. I am currently self-employed. I am out on the road working, and the costs are real. You know, gas is expensive. Vehicle wear and tear is real, and trying to stay profitable while delivering is not easy. As of April 15th, AAA shows Texas gas averaging about 3.768 a gallon, and the national average is around $4, about 4.108. And in current conflict involving Iran has added pressure to global oil markets, which shows how politics affects ordinary life each day or every day. I am also trying to maintain myself well, stay presentable, and keep building as a creator and independent worker. I have financial pressure this month, including credit card debt and taxes, and I am doing my best to keep moving forward without sounding desperate. So if you enjoy my work and want to support what I am building, support is appreciated, never expected. My Cash App is Sunbeam0072. I'm going to keep pushing, keep creating, and keep trying to build something better. I repeat, if you would like to support the content and help offset fuel, vehicle costs, and creator expenses, support is greatly appreciated but never expected. My Cash App is Sunbeam0072. That is greatly appreciated. Now, ladies and gentlemen, viewers and members of the online community, once again, my name is General Sunbeam, and I would like to take a moment to provide a transparent and professional overview of what a typical day looks like as a 1099 independent delivery contractor working across multiple platforms. Today's operations involve a combination of the catering logistics through lunch job alongside standard delivery services such as DoorDash. These these platforms may appear simple from the outside, but they share a common foundation: time sensitive execution, customer satisfaction, and personal accountability without the safety net of traditional employment. During the lunch rush, the workflow becomes significantly more demanding. Catering routes require precise coordination. Orders are grouped, picked up in batches, and then distributed across multiple corporate offices. Each stop has its own expectation, time window, and logistical challenges. Efficiency is critical. One delay can cascade into the rest of the route. Oh boy. Sorry, it was just, oh man, stretching. So yes, if it's efficiency critical. One delay can cascade into the rest of the route. In parallel, platforms like DoorDash and Uber Eats operate on a different model. These are typically single order deliveries, but they still require navigation, communication, and timely drop offs. While simpler in structure, they still contribute to the overall workload and operational fatigue. With all of these platforms, oh, So yes, what all these platforms have in common is this: the responsibility falls entirely on the driver. As independent contractors, we manage our own time, our own expenses, and our own risks. Every mile driven contributes to fuel costs, vehicle wear, and long-term maintenance. Traffic conditions, weather, and customer tipping behavior all directly impact earnings. There is no guaranteed hourly wage. There is no traditional job security. What there is, however, is a constant demand to perform, to adapt, and to continue moving forward despite the challenges. At this stage, focus is clear. I am working diligently to meet financial obligations, including credit responsibilities, vehicle expenses, and everyday living costs. This is about maintaining At this stage, my focus is clear. I am working diligently to meet financial obligations, including credit responsibilities, vehicle expenses. Financial obligations, including credit responsibilities, vehicle expenses, and everyday living costs. This is about maintaining stability, being responsible, productive, and continuing to build towards something greater. Hopefully. Stability, content creation is also part of that long-term vision. While I am on the road, I am documenting, learning, and sharing these experiences in a way that is both informative and authentic. The goal is to grow, to improve, and to eventually transition into a more sustainable and scalable path. So, to those who are watching, supporting, and following the journey, your engagement does not go unnoticed. Appreciate it. Every whip, every view, every share, and every bit of support contributes to that forward progress. So now, so ladies and gentlemen, viewers and supporters, I would like to continue this discussion with full transparency about not only the work itself, but also the direction I am trying to move toward as a content creator and independent contractor. At this stage, at this stage in my journey, I am actively working both on the road and behind the scenes. While I am handling delivery logistics, I am also building a brand, documenting real-life experiences, challenges, and day-to-day operations. This is not just about driving. It is about creating content, building an audience, and developing long-term sustainability. For those who are interested in following that journey more closely, I invite you to support and follow my platform on Rumble. Follow at General Sunbeam. Hit that follow button. Help me reach 100 plus followers on Rumble. That is where I am consistently uploading content, sharing real experiences, and building a community around growth, discipline, and real world hustle. Now, I want to address something important in a professional and respectful manner. As part of expanding my content and exploring wellness, recovery, and self-care, I am open to collaborations within professional and appropriate boundaries. This includes areas such as therapeutic massage sessions, foot care and reflexology, wellness-based, general relaxation and recovery treatments, sensory and tactile modeling, general modeling, body wellness, demonstrations, creative content collaborations with other creators. These would be this these will be approached from a health, wellness, and professional content creation perspective. Focused on relaxation, recovery, and educational or lifestyle documentation. This is an open invitation for collaboration. Consider my consent with clear consent and intention to maintain respectful, appropriate, and platform-safe standards. At least PG-13, but I am open to not safe for work. The goal here is simple: to create content that is engaging, informative, and beneficial, while also expanding into new areas that align with wellness, recovery, and real-life experiences. At the same time, I want to emphasize the bigger picture. Right now I am working continuously, driving, delivering, managing expenses, and pushing through long hours. Every mile driven is fuel consumed. Every delivery adds wear to the vehicle. Every day requires focus, discipline, and endurance. This is the reality of being a 1099 contractor. No guaranteed income, no fixed schedule, no safety nets. Full responsibility for expenses and performance. And yet, despite all that, I continue to push forward because the objective is clear: pay down financial obligations, maintain stability, build something greater, do content creation, reach monetization across platforms. Whether it is Rumble, YouTube, Instagram, or other platforms, the requirements are high. The thresholds, followers, watch time, engagement can feel excessive and difficult to reach, yet I continue to press forward and hopefully to get there. However, rather than stopping, I am choosing to document the process, build consistently, and improve over time. So to anyone watching, let me get some more drink. Oh boy. Oh man. On 1:45, almost 2 a.m. All right. So to anyone watching, so again, if you are also working, grinding, and trying to make ends meet, um, this message is for you as well. This is this is not just content. This is real life effort documented in real time. Your support, your support, whether through views, follows, or engagement, plays a direct role in helping this grow. At least that's what every content creator that are trying to do this would say. So once again, follow at General Sunbeam on Rumble. Hit the follow button. Help me grow. Help me build. Help me reach that level of noise. Stay connected, stay updated, and be a part of the journey. I would greatly appreciate it. Oh boy. I have been reflecting on where I am right now in life. Well, I'll probably need to take a break. I'm probably falling asleep. Okay. Alright, I'm back. Sorry. Just had this, you know, splash water on my face, try to stay awake. Feeling a little sleepy. But I'm back. Alright, so yes, follow me on Rumble. Hit that follow button. Follow General Sunbeam. Help me grow. Reach 100 plus followers. Trying to make extra money. Trying to live the dream. So yes, I am doing my best to stay presentable, disciplined, and professional while building something for myself as a self-employed creator and delivery worker. You know, I recently spent money on basic grooming, including a standard manicure and pedicure, because I believe in presenting myself neatly and respectfully. For me, that is just part of self-respect, confidence, and trying to carry myself well in public. Alright, so continuing on the line, thank you. Thank you all very much for being here tonight and for taking the time to watch, listen, and engage in a thoughtful way. We covered a lot during the stream, from public safety and crime prevention to gig delivery realities, rising costs, online culture, and the importance of keeping our communities grounded in common sense. So, so common sense, accountability, basic human decency. At the end of the day, the message is simple. People need to do better, choose better, and treat one another with more responsibilities and more respect. When it comes to public safety, the takeaway is clear. We need to protect our homes, protect our neighborhoods, protect our families, and stay alert. You know, trespassing, intimidation, home invasions, harassment, and reckless criminal behaviors are wrong. They create fear, they damage trust, and they put innocent people in danger. We should all be promoting stronger prevention, and stronger community standards so that people feel safer where they live. You know, doing the right thing still matters. Knowing right from wrong still matters. Moral conscience still matters. And for all the 1099 gig drivers out there, all the DoorDash drivers, Uber Eats drivers, catering drivers, and everyone else on the road trying to make an honest living, you know, much respect to you. You're out there burning fuel, stacking miles on your vehicles, dealing with traffic, wait times, weather, restaurant chaos, unclear addresses, safety risks, angry customers, and the heavy wear and tear that comes with this kind of work, including that the customers may likely or very likely just won't tip the drivers. Too many drivers are carrying all that pressure while getting paid too little. That is why I continue to stand on this point. Drivers deserve better compensation, better transparency, and a better standard. You know, $2, even $3 per mile per order is not some outrageous demand. It is a call for fairness for the drivers to be better compensated. It is a call for the companies to recognize the real cost of the work being done. Because gas is expensive, maintenance is expensive, life is expensive, life insurance, car insurance is expensive. And people out here are trying to survive, to put food on the table, to take care of their loved ones. So the call to action is this. Support delivery drivers. Speak up for fair pay, compensation, and push these gig companies to do better, to reward their drivers better. Drivers should not be treated like disposable labor while they are the very people keeping the service moving. Better payout standards, clear policies, more transparency, and real respect. Real respect for the driver's time, fuel, safety, and vehicles should be part of the conversation every single day. Who's sending me messages? Oh. Hmm. Oh, is this one of the messenger? Kendall Wilson's. Kendall Wilson. So yes, to do better. Gig companies do better. Drivers should not be treated like disposable labor while they are the very people keeping the service moving. Better payout standards, clearer policies, more transparency, and real respect for the driver's time, fuel, safety, and vehicles should be part of the conversations every single day. At the same time, when it comes to public figures, creators, influencers, celebrities, or anyone caught in controversy, there also needs to be more. Alright, so when it comes to public figures, creators, influencers, celebrities, or anyone caught in controversy, there also needs to be more transparency, more due process, and more fairness before people rush to destroy reputations. So again, accountability matters, yes, but facts matter too. Evidence matters, context matters. People should be careful, responsible, and honest before joining internet dog piles or trying to ruin someone without the full picture. We need less mob energy, less reckless outrage, and more discipline in how we respond to accusations and controversy online. Most of all, I want to leave this stream on a positive note. So just let us keep promoting safety, let us keep promoting optimism, let us keep promoting stronger communities, good judgment, and better choices. Let us reduce crime, reduce reckless behavior, reduce chaos, and encourage people to move with more purpose, more wisdom, and more self-control. We need more peace, more accountability, and more people willing to do the right thing even when nobody is watching. Thank you again to everyone who came through and supported the stream. Thank you to the viewers, the audience, the lurkers, the chat, and everyone showing love and support. I appreciate your time, your attention, and your energy. So please make sure to subscribe, follow, and support General Sunbeam. Share the stream, help spread the message, and keep showing love. More live streams, more commentary, more real discussion, and more content are always on the way. Now to reiterate one of the clearest differences between real artists, so moving on, time to get my thoughts across. Let's talk about real artists and those that claim to be artists. To reiterate, one of the clearest differences between real artists and suspicious accounts is that true human artists usually show their work before they ever ask for trust. They often have an actual commission menu, a visible price sheet, examples of past work, terms of service, and a long-standing portfolio on platforms such as DeviantArt, ArtStation, or Discord. They may also be active in normal artist community. Ugh. So yeah, or Discord. They may also be active in normal artist community practices, such as birthday gifts, art trades, community events, and regular posting over time. That is how legitimate creative reputation is built. It is built through consistency, visibility, patience, and proof. It is not built through vague praise, sudden pressure, or random private messages that try to rush you off platform, like going all the way towards Discord and chat from there. As I have already explained numerous times and shown this on Facebook and stressed this out. Real artists, real artists show their work first, and fake accounts often try to shortcut that by reaching to the clients first. That don't make sense. Alright, so yeah. And fake accounts often try to shortcut that trust building process. And I want to say this from personal experience as well. I have been on DeviantArt for about 14 years, more than a decade, and I have actively used the platform, for a long time. So I know the difference between a real profile with history and a suspicious account that suddenly appears polished with polished words but no substance behind it. When Sorry, just texting, responding to a message. Oh, I'm so tired. What was I? Yeah, so I've been on DeviantArt for 14 years, and I have actively used the platform for a long time. Therefore, I know the difference between a real profile with history and a suspicious account that suddenly appears with polished words but no substance behind it. When I have commissioned, when I have commissioned artists, including niche, adult-oriented, or specialty fantasy commissions, I have done so with artists who had serious portfolio pages, large watcher counts or page views, consistent uploads, recognizable style, and an established presence. I have spent a significant amount of money doing that. Oh, oh, sorry, I just got distracted. Oh, okay, gotta turn off the small lamp. There we go. So, yes, when I have commissioned artists, uh, they have large watch accounts and page view consistent uploads, recognizable style, and an established presence. I have spent a significant amount of money doing that. And the reason I mentioned it is simple. Legitimate artists usually look legitimate. They have receipts, structure, reputation, activity, and community presence. That does not mean every large account is automatically trustworthy, but it does mean there are real signs to look for before you give someone your time, trust, or money. I also want to address the Genshin Impact situation clearly because there has been confusion online. So Genshin Impact itself is not shutting down for anyone that thought so. It's still going. The game is still running on supported platforms. What ended was PlayStation 4 support. Hoyoverse announced phase out concluded on April 8, 2026. When update support and login access for the PS4 version ended, after early phases, removed the game from the PlayStation Store and ended in-game purchases on PS4. The reason given was hardware performance limitations and application size, not the end of the game as a whole. Players who link their accounts can continue on supported platforms such as PlayStation 5, PC, and mobile. Well, yes. Oh boy. Okay, so the PS4 is being discontinued. Let's see. And from there, I want to transition to something broader about surveillance camera safety. So surveillance camera safety and accountability. So for those that are trying to understand, just to understand, security cameras aren't out there just to make people feel watched for no reason. Their practical purpose is to help deter crime, document events, and preserve evidence when something goes wrong. A current example of that is Milpitas, California, where city officials recently approved a program to distribute doorbell cameras to residents as a crime deterrence and investigative aid, while also emphasizing that any share of footage with police remains voluntary. That tells you the real logic behind these systems: public safety, evidence, and community awareness. So the deeper point is this: cameras do not create wrongdoing; they reveal it. If somebody decides to trespass, threaten people, vandalize property, steal, harass, or escalate conflict, that behavior may now be documented in a way that did not exist as widely years ago. So actions leave trails. Evidence lasts. Consequences become easier to prove. That is why people need to think before they act, especially in public and around other people's homes, businesses, and personal space. So my final message in this add-on is simple. Verify information before repeating it. Respect legitimate artists and learn how to identify them properly. Be cautious with fake engagement and burner accounts. Understand that games and platforms change for technical reasons. And rumors online often distort the truth. And in real life, remember that safety, accountability, and common sense still matter. Do not trespass. Do not harass people. Do not escalate situations. Stay calm, stay aware, and choose the path that protects both yourself and others. And above all, be the kind of person who does the right thing, even when it would be easier not to. Because today, whether online or offline, Truth has a way of surfacing, and action have a way of being remembered. Thank you all for listening, and that's the memo for the live stream. Feeling sleepy? I think my wife passed out. I don't know if the door is locked, but gonna head off to bed, call it a night, and continuing to produce content and whatever, trying to grow. So, yeah, this is your boy General Sunbeam. Hit that follow button on my Rumble account. Trying to break 40, 50, all the way to 100. And it's a challenge, it's a grind. And that's the memo. Peace.